Several years ago, a number of us had a conversation that I think bears repeating today, this Thanksgiving Day. We were talking about how sometimes moms and dads have for their children a book of firsts. You know, baby's first words, baby's first steps, baby's first tooth, baby's first communion, and how great it is to write down memories of those firsts in the lives of their children to help savor them. But we ask the question, what if there were such a thing as a book of lasts? What if you knew this was the last time your preteen would ever let you snuggle with her before she went to bed? What if this were the last time, and you knew it, that your son would ever play catch with you in the backyard? Or what if this were the last time you ever got to sit across the table from a loved one at a meal? Wouldn't we treasure those moments, huh? If I knew this was the last time I got to play catch with my son, boy, I wouldn't care how cold it was or how sore my arm got, would I, huh? I'd keep playing. If I knew this were the last time that I sat across the table from my wife, my mom, my child, wouldn't you look in their face, huh, and just drink that in? The painful news is while we can have a book of firsts, there is no book of lasts. And we don't know. We don't know if this might be the last chance we had to see somebody we loved, to smell autumn leaves, or to taste the food on our table. And therefore, it's important that we sometimes live as if it were. I believe that an awareness of the shortness of life can help open our eyes to see the treasures buried in every moment. I worry how easily we can walk past the beauties of everyday living, the precious gift that God has given us to be alive in this beautiful world, and the treasure of the very presence of God among us, only to be found now. Not in the past, not in the future. I know that probably no one could live aware always of how fragile life is. And no one is probably capable of that searing, beautiful pain of living and treasuring this simple moment every day. But I think Thanksgiving becomes one of those days where we more naturally see. And it's a time to practice again. And so I ask you, what if this were the last Mass you were ever at? Would communion be different? When you shook hands as a sign of peace, would you look any differently at the people around you? When it's time to sing, would you sing differently? I pray that it's not the last Mass for any of us, but I don't know. What if this were the last time you had a meal where everyone that will be there tonight will be there? What would you do differently? How would you see them around the table? What would your prayer be like? How would you eat? What if this were the last day that you got to walk outside and see the sun, feel the crisp, cool air, look around and see the beauty of creation? I hope it's not the last for any of us. But perhaps we are wise to live as if it were. Because while we might be capable of having a book of firsts, and we record all those great first moments in our children's lives, there is no book of lasts. And therefore, we need to live eyes and hearts wide open to find the beautiful treasures buried in these simple days. And I believe that in that, we give thanks to God in the best way we could ever do. Hello, well, hello, buddy. How are you? Excited. Let me guess. Why are you excited? Food. Yeah, I get that. It's a great day. Well, that's one of the blessings of this day, isn't it? And we are so lucky to have food. So, Big Al, as you look around today, what are some of the blessings that you see? Food. I know, Big Al, but let's not go to the future. What are some of the blessings right now? The people, I know. Aren't they beautiful, Big Al? Yeah, I agree. They're really something to see. What else does this moment hold, Big Al? Food. Well, Big Al, okay, we're not yet. Hang on, dude, okay. But this you can't see with your eyes. What else does this moment hold? God. It does, Big Al. This moment holds God. And I think sometimes we have to slow down enough to see that. This moment holds love. And if we're not careful, we think about stuff that's in the future and we miss what's here right now. So when you see these blessings, you see these people. You see God. And you and me. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Well, I appreciate that, buddy. Well, I'm grateful for you too. Happy Thanksgiving. And boys and girls, sometimes we're so busy or we're thinking about so much stuff, we miss what is most real in the moment. And I pray that every person here today will stop enough to become awake and to see and to treasure the simple blessings of our incredible God. In my own name and on behalf of Father Jim and all of us, a blessed Thanksgiving to you and those you love. And may God help us see rightly.